And welcome into TV 27. I'm Hugh Harris, and we're here at Cullman Baseball Stadium as the time of the year. The temperatures are warming, the grass is greening, and goodness gracious, it's playoff time, Coach. And
Yes,
it's always a different feeling when you start that playoffs because if you don't come out on top of those 2 or 3, you stay home.
it's definitely not what we want either. This is what you play for all year, and this is why you prepare. And there's a little extra energy in the park, and we look forward to getting started.
Okay, and I like this format much better than I did the old first game, just a single game series that you lose and you stay home. And if we've been around baseball, you know you can have one bad game no matter how good you are and end up not getting down in the playoffs. But this 2 out of 3 format is pretty good. But you're starting out with Athens. What can you tell us about them and what to expect?
They've been hot late. They've got some guys in their lineup that can do some damage. In the heart of their lineup, you're going to have to pitch them well. They're pretty athletic all around the field, and they've got some arms that keep them in games and can flip some breaking balls in there and hitters counts. And they look to try to use hitters' aggressiveness against them, and that'd be a good matchup against us because we want to get in there and swing it. And a lot of times when they're throwing a pitcher's pitch and a hitter's count, it can be hard to wait, especially with some extra energy.
Okay, and you and I have always talked about adjusting to the personnel that you had, and years past, Cullman has been a hit, run, get a score here, get a score there. But this team has been a little bit different. There's been a little bit more power with this group. And how do you adjust as a coach to deal with that situation? Because, even with the power hitters, they can have a dry spell along the way.
Yeah, honestly, we really do anything we can do to score early and hopefully score first. But if that means bunting some runners around and stealing some bags, maybe putting guys in motion, then, we'll probably do that early. And then as the game lays out and you see what type of game it is, what type of arm we're facing, then we may continue to scratch and try to get one here, one there. Or we might just start playing for a big inning and not moving guys around and just kind of trying to see what the feel of the game is.
And I know you've got a great mixture of young and older players, and we're going to talk to some of these seniors, but how important is that to you as a coach for not only this year but for the future of the game?
It's extremely important because every year, I got 3 guys standing right here that this means the world to them, and then next year they'll be off at in college, and it's going to mean the world to some guys that are still here. And so you want to build a tradition, and you want to build a team that will come back the next year and have a chance, and hopefully we want to make a run at it every year. So it's important to get guys experience. It's obviously important, and they've heard it 1,000 times of how your seniors have to lead. You need to lead from the top down. Well, they've done a tremendous job, and so hopefully we get more guys next year that step into the roles. And it's just kind of a thing where as a coach you see it cycle. You get a group that comes in, they cycle out, and hopefully it just continues. And these guys have been the beneficiaries of people that have done things before them. So we talk about leaving your legacy, and main way to do that is come to work every day and play the game the right way. All
right, well, we're going to talk to some of these seniors, and you and I talk about the youngsters and the older kids, and we sometimes don't share that with them, but we like to watch them come up and watch them progress. And these guys have done that, and that's what you expect. And I know what is the most satisfying part of your job here as coach at Cullman.
Yes, that's for sure. When you get guys that have come in and there's 3 guys standing here that's got 3 separate stories, and they're all extremely different. But at the same time, our group of seniors, we couldn't be more proud of the 7 guys that we have, and the journey that they've been on for their 4 or 5 years that since they've been here. To them, you look at it entirely different from our end.
Right.
But for their 4 or 5 years that they've been here and cycle in and out, the things that they've accomplished and the things they've been through, you couldn't be more proud of this group of guys.
Okay. First, going to start off with Lance. Lance, you've had a big year, good year at the plate, great year in the field. But how do you approach playoffs? You've been around long enough to know what it's all about. How do you come in and prepare yourself to get ready for an Athens squad to come in here?
Well, I just put a lot of focus on the practices during the week because you want to be ready to play on Friday, but I feel like there's a big importance on practice.
Well, you've got to get yourself ready and be ready and do the same things as you've been doing all year. And there's an excitement about playoffs, but in the game of baseball, you got to play each inning, each at bat, just like you have all year. Now, Clay, you've had a good year, and you've came up through the ranks and waited and bided your time, and really have been a leader off this team. So, what are you expecting out of the playoffs this year?
I'm expecting us to do great. It's like a brand new season, and we come ready every day. We're just preparing to do our best, and I think we will go out there and we will. We'll show up.
And those of us who have watched Cullman baseball for a number of years, we're excited about this team and what the potential is for this year. And you just have to go out there and play your baseball. Now, Samuel, you're pretty tough on yourself from what I hear, and
yes,
you've really had a good year. But tell me, from your perspective, when we go to Birmingham and watch Ben Moore go against Chase Mallard's team, and you see Keegan Thompson's name in the paper coming in and shutting down Alabama in the final innings, and Matthew Britton over at Mississippi State, Ben Moore at Alabama. What does the legacy of those guys have on this team here as we get ready for the playoffs?
I mean, all those guys were great leaders when they were here, and they led just by their leadership on and off the field. And they've set a good work example in us, and just told us to keep working hard each day. And they've kept doing that as they were going off to college too. So they're doing real good.
And in all of them, if I could see one thing that all of them have in common, is they go into each game and play their game and play within their limitations, and
yes,
and you can't forget that as you get into the playoffs. So it's just another at bat, and you're up there to make a hit, move somebody around, and the game's not on your shoulders.
Yes, sir.
All 9 guys that's got to be out there ready to go when calls play ball. So we're looking forward to y'all getting Athens in here and moving on down through the process, and we look forward to having y'all boys in Montgomery and getting to experience just what it's all like getting to play in the state playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you, and we'll be checking in with you.
Thank you
very much.
And we'll be back after a short commercial break.